Does anyone else understand why Obama is going around and saying over and over and over again, we will not put troops on the ground. This is not a combat mission. Over and over and over again. I honestly think that he's emphasized that point more than he's emphasized the actual mission. More than he's highlighted what we're actually going to be doing. He's been saying what we're not going to do more than he has been saying what we are going to do to deal with ISIS. Have you noticed that, folks? He said it again just yesterday. No ground troops. This is not a combat mission.
Its leaders have repeatedly threatened America and our allies, and right now, these terrorists pose a threat to the people of Iraq, the people of Syria, the broader Middle East, including our personnel, our embassies, our consulates, our facilities there. And if left unchecked, they could pose a growing threat to the United States. Now, going forward, as I announced last week, we're going to degrade and ultimately destroy ISIL through a comprehensive and sustained counterterrorism strategy.
No, you're not.
Whether in Iraq or in Syria, these terrorists will learn the same thing that the leaders of Al-Qaeda already know. We mean what we say. Our reach is long. If you threaten America, you will find no safe haven. We will find you eventually.
All right, folks, he loves that line, doesn't he? Oh, yes. Barack Obama, he loves that line. If you threaten America, you will find no safe haven. First time he said it probably sent shivers down his... Oh, that sounded good. You know, I think I'm going to say that over and over and over again to try to get my 39% approval rating up a little bit. Keep listening.
But, and this is something I want to emphasize.
But.
This is not and will not be America's fight alone.
Of course.
One of the things we've learned over this last decade is America can make a decisive difference. But I want to be clear. The American forces that have been deployed to Iraq do not and will not have a combat mission. They will support Iraqi forces on the ground as they fight for their own country against these terrorists. As your commander-in-chief, I will not commit you and the rest of our armed forces to fighting another ground war.
All right, we got it. Shut up, I can't take it. No ground troops. No ground combat. We're not making this another combat mission in Iraq. Over and over and over again like a broken record. I'm going to tell you why. I think he's so committed to not making this a combat mission. To not putting boots on the ground in Iraq. I think Obama is trying desperately not to be compared to President Bush. I think that's what this is all about. I think he just simply doesn't want to go down in history as another George W. Bush who sent troops into Iraq. I think he is so committed to being the anti-George W. Bush that he's so committed here to not sending troops into Iraq, even though it clearly calls for it. Even though it is completely necessary. He doesn't want to be another George W. Bush. That's what I think's going on here, ladies and gentlemen. This is all political. All of this is political. He tries to put emphasis on, well, we don't want to put our troops into harm's way. But the reality of it is, just like everything else in Obama's presidency, he's covering his own ass here. That's all this is. It's all politics.